Hello everybody, this is the guy that runs the Cardinals Classics YouTube channel, and I'm going to record this quick audio for you in order to get my thoughts out on a couple of things that have been coming up lately, and this is easier for me to do than just writing you a long text video. The first one is specifically requesting ball games. I have a blanket no request policy on this channel. That is not because I'm trying to be a dick. That's not because I don't want to provide you with the content that you want. It's simply because my archive is limited to what you see. If I have it, I will post it. I don't begrudge anybody for having emotional bonds with specific games, but if you have a specific request and I don't have it, it is so incredibly hard for me to get those old games. So I ask in the most polite way possible, please be respectful of me and my time. The other thing I want to talk about is the comments regarding Mark McGwire that I keep getting, and that is, oh, you should take down all your McGwire stuff because he's a mutated juicer, or Mark McGwire is a cheater, da-da-da-da. Now, I want to thank those of you that have shared your revisionist morality point of view, but I simply cannot understand it. I get that McGwire used steroids, and to some degree, absolutely, that cheapens the records, but let's remember a few things. Number one, McGwire was in the majority of players during his era, not the minority. PEDs were rampant in baseball for a long time, and we all know this. And you cannot single out one player or even a few players and point the finger at them and say, I expect higher morality out of you because you hit home runs. PEDs were not tested for during the time McGwire played, and if it's not against the rules of the sport you play in, well, I can't really blame you for doing it. Also, we have no way of knowing how long PEDs, like specifically steroids, were in baseball, but my God, amphetamines, barbiturates, recreational drugs, those things were all commonplace within baseball for a long time before steroids took place. And there's going to be, if there isn't already, a player that gets elected into the Hall of Fame that has used steroids. Now, why do we not raise hell about Willie Mays distributing greenies in the Mets clubhouse in the early 70s, or Mike Schmidt admitting that he used amphetamines, and players that are in the Hall of Fame that used cocaine? Why do we not give a shit about that? Is it because they didn't specifically break specific records and then get specifically called before Congress and specifically make a fool of themselves by not saying anything? What is the reason? Like, every era has had its advantages. McGwire's just happened to be steroids, you know? The biggest thing for me, too, on this is baseball. Not religion. It's entertainment. If you enjoyed the home run race of '98, if you cheered when McGwire was hitting bombs into the upper deck at Busch Stadium, if you were not quite literally the only fan in the world who was bitching about the size of McGwire and Sosa and saying, hey, something must be going on with those two, then shut the hell up. Seriously. It was exciting. And McGwire's time in St. Louis was tremendous fun. And I don't like the fact that he did steroids or that anybody else did steroids, but man, I'm not going to sit here and beat my chest and pretend like I am now outraged about something that came to light that, had I been older, because I was only 12 in '98, I probably would have assumed was going on anyway. I mean, for Christ's sake, look at the size of McGwire in '86 and then look at the size of McGwire in '98. To get mad about it and pretend like the moments weren't great or that they're not worth remembering is just juvenile stupidity. It happened. It was a ton of fun. Yes, it was chemically enhanced. Yes, it was an exhibition of science on display more so than great athletic ability. But you know what? It doesn't matter. When you hit a rock 500 feet with a stick, it's fucking awesome.